Yo, what's going on? I don't know where I'm going with this video, but basically, I wanted to talk about are the new Call of Duties really that bad? Or do we just think they're bad right now? I say this question because, Black Ops 7 just came out a few days ago. It's probably only been out for, I don't know, 5 days now, 4 days. Um, and you already see people talking about, oh, I miss Ghost or Advanced Warfare, uh, Infinite Warfare, all those things. All the Call of Duties people said were terrible. Now they're saying, oh, I wish I could go back and play, or maybe we were too harsh on Call of Duty Ghost, whatever. Even Vanguard, I'm seeing a lot of videos where people saying, Vanguard is miles better than this game. Even Black Ops 6, I'm seeing videos, people saying, oh, they're nostalgic about Black Ops 6 already, when people hated Black Ops 6, or most people did. Um, and now people are hating Black Ops 7. But who knows, when Modern Warfare 4 comes out next year, people are going to be like, oh, I miss Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 was so much better. We were too harsh on Black Ops 7. So it raises the question, are the new Call of Duties really that bad? Or do people just hate them in the moment? Just like plenty of CODs has been hated in the moment, I feel like a lot of people hated Advanced Warfare. Probably not as much as people hate the new CODs now. They get more hate. But back then, still people hated Advanced Warfare. People hated Ghost. People hated Infinite Warfare. There was a lot of Call of Duties, older Call of Duties, that people hated then. And then the next Call of Duty came out, and they realized the game wasn't that bad. So is that how the new Call of Duties are going to be? It's already with Black Ops 6. People are already saying Black Ops 6 wasn't that bad. Or with Vanguard. Everyone hated Vanguard. A lot of people hated Vanguard. Uh, I like almost every single Call of Duty, and I don't have a problem with the new CODs. But Vanguard was one I actually didn't like. But see, it's the same thing people are saying. Oh, I hated Vanguard back then, but it's actually not that bad compared to Black Ops 7 or Black Ops 6, whatever. But I just think maybe the new CODs aren't that bad, and people like to just hate on them in the moment while everyone else is hating. And then a year passes, and people are like, you know what? Black Ops 7 wasn't that bad. I genuinely like Black Ops 7. I think it's a good game. Has a lot of good things. Black Ops 6 is alright. I actually think Black Ops 7 is better than 6. I still had fun on 6, but I don't know. If you don't follow the crowd and, you enjoy the game, I see a lot of people hate on Black Ops 7. I don't know if it's all real hate or kind of people just follow the crowd. A lot of people probably have never even touched it and they say stuff about it. I understand a lot of people don't like Black Ops 7, who have played it. But I feel like it's not as bad of a game as people say it is. I hear a lot of stuff about the campaign. I haven't played the campaign. I've seen videos on the campaign. And I agree it doesn't look that good. But they based the campaign on the whole game. I mean, Call of Duty's never really... I'm not going to say it's never been about the campaign, but the campaign was always a more minuscule part of the game rather than the multiplayer or zombies or, whatever it is. Campaign has always been a smaller part of the game. So to judge the game based on the campaign is not really a fair judgment, whatever. If you skip past the campaign, the multiplayer is pretty solid, It's got the wall jump now, which, you figured a lot of people would like, and I think people do like it. I haven't seen much about the wall jump. Honestly, I never really see people wall jump in the game. Not a lot. Even I forget about it. Probably just, we're still used to not having wall jump now. It's been years. Uh, Probably Black Ops 4, I guess, was the last one, or Black Ops 3. Um, but it's a solid game, and I think when Modern Warfare 4 comes out, or in a couple years when the next Black Ops comes out, I know you can't really compare a Modern Warfare game to a Black Ops game. Well, I guess you can, but they're not super similar in everything they usually, they're two different series. So they got different guns and different kill streaks, whatever. But let's say if Call of Duty keeps on going, I don't know when the last Call of Duty is going to be. I don't know if they're finally going to make like a final COD that they keep, and they just constantly update it throughout the years. Which would actually be a good decision. I think maybe the yearly CODs now aren't really the way to go because it hasn't really been working out great. People don't enjoy Call of Duty like they used to. Or at least that's how it seems. But then, as I said earlier, the next Call of Duty comes out and then people are like, oh, the last COD wasn't that bad. So, the next Black Ops, let's say there was a Black Ops 8. Maybe people would be like, you know what, Black Ops 7 wasn't that bad. Like I said earlier, it's usually when the next Call of Duty comes out, that's when people realize, oh, the game was actually decent, it wasn't that bad. And then they call the new COD trash. Then the next newer COD comes out. And then it's like, oh, that last COD wasn't that bad. Blah, 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 and it repeats over and over again. It's a cycle of Call of Duty. It's been that way for a while now. People hated MW 2019. I loved Modern Warfare 2019. I've pretty much loved every COD, like I said earlier. I've played pretty much every single COD all the way since COD 4. That was my first Call of Duty I ever played. So I have an experience in pretty much every COD. And I do like almost every single COD, with a few exceptions. Modern Warfare 2, the new one, I love the OG Modern Warfare 2. That's my favorite COD of all time. But the new MW2 wasn't that great. Modern Warfare 3, they said, was like, everyone said pretty much MW2 DLC, MW2.5, that was MW3. But I'm talking about the new ones. I'm not talking about the old ones. The new MW3 was pretty good. That was probably one of the best COD games we've gotten in a while. Modern Warfare 2019 was really good. Black Ops Cold War is really good. And I'm not really talking about, I'm talking strictly multiplayer. The campaigns I don't really play. I mean, I played the older COD campaigns, of course, because those were always great. Nowadays, the campaigns really aren't that good. I did play Cold War campaign in MW 2019, and those were pretty good, especially Cold War. Cold War campaign was pretty good. But people hate on the game then, and now they love it now. MW19 got a ton of hate. That was, when they, I forgot what was the main thing in that game, but people said it was just super slow paced, people camping. And when we played, we found, if you played Team Deathmatch, the game was terrible, which is sad. It shouldn't, Call of Duty shouldn't be, you have to play this game mode in order to have fun, but honestly, that's how 19 was. Team Deathmatch was really slow, but if you played an objective game like Headquarters was really fun, and you have people moving around, then they can't camp because they have to go to objectives in order to win. And if you capture it and then you have to hold it down, so people, they have to come and kill you, because in Headquarters, when you die, you don't, if you capture it and you die, you don't respawn until the enemies recapture it, whatever. So that was always fun. If you played Team Deathmatch, it was pretty campy. The maps were pretty big. Not a lot of 3-lane maps in that game, and that was a problem with Call of Duty for a while, was the maps weren't great. MW19 had some good ones. Hackney Yard, Gunrunner. I forget the other names, I don't know. It's been a while. But And then Cold War came out. Cold War was pretty good. You know, I never saw a ton of hate on Cold War. I think for the most part, people actually like that game, um, which is right because it is a good game. You know, I never had problems with that game. I played that game a ton. Same with Modern Warfare 2019, and then I forget the next Vanguard. I'm pretty sure. Uh, Everyone hated Vanguard. Now people are saying, oh, maybe it was actually good. You know, I miss Vanguard. Blah blah blah. Better than Black Ops 7. Whatever. I didn't like Vanguard. I didn't play it too much. I did get gold on a few weapons, and then I stopped playing it because I just didn't like it. But now people are saying it's a good game, even though no one liked it. Everyone hated on it. I still see people hating on it. You know, you see a COD tier list, and it's always at the bottom. But it's just a proof that people hate on the COD in the moment, and then in a few years, all of a sudden, it was a good Call of Duty. So, is a Call of Duty ever that bad, or is it just hated in the moment? You know, in a few years, I think all these CODs will, Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, MW3, all these newer CODs, these newer generation. I'm talking, when I say new CODs, I'm talking MW19. That's when Call of Duty kind of shifted, you know, with the new movement, the new engine, slide canceling, blah, 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 all this stuff. That's when Call of Duty really transitioned, because the last COD was World War II before they switched to Modern Warfare 2019. And there's a good example, World War II. Everyone hated World War II. I understand World War II wasn't that great when it released, and then after it was updated throughout the COD cycle, you know, people liked it a lot, but still a lot of people hated it. But then now people are saying how good the game was, how much they missed it. And so a real big thing about Call of Duty is nostalgia. Everyone has nostalgia over a COD game, if it's Black Ops 2 or OGMW2, OGMW3, COD 4, World at War, Black Ops 1. You know, everyone has a game that they loved and they were nostalgic about. And that's really what makes these games, that's what makes us realize the games weren't that bad, you know? I wasn't a big fan of Black Ops 6, but now I played Black Ops 6 when it came out, not as much with the rest of the year. You know, we played it quite a bit when it came out, and then didn't play it that much. We were mostly on the MW3, the last Call of Duty before Black Ops 6. We played that a lot more than Black Ops 6. So, but now, you know, I'm nostalgic about Black Ops 6 already. And that makes me think like, oh, it wasn't that bad of a game. You know, I did have fun on it. And that's how Black Ops 7 will be. That's how Modern Warfare 4 will be when it comes out. That's how the Call of Duties will be after that. You will look back at it and be nostalgic about it. And that'll make you realize, oh, it's not that bad of a game. That's my opinion. I don't know. I didn't really have a point of this video. I just wanted to talk and say my opinion on Call of Duty. But Call of Duty is a very nostalgic game, and everyone has good memories on Call of Duty, and that's what makes them miss the older games, miss the newer games. You know, that's it.